I've been saying pretty often recently that capitalists, that like bosses, that the vulture class, that they don't actually make anything and they could disappear without us noticing. And I think y'all think I'm just talking, but it's actually true. Think about it, right? People who own businesses, people who own a factory but never work in it, that's not somebody who the factory needs. That's someone who is just doing the work of extracting value from people who work at that factory. Like, that's just obvious. And like, we never have these conversations without getting into ideology, which like gets everything all tripped up. But just think about it for a second. Like, say we're talking about a medicine, right? Like, Pfizer brand, levitating, you know what I'm talking about. It gets to have the name Pfizer on it because somebody named Pfizer owns the building, not because they did any work. And how do they get to own that building? Probably because somebody in their family gave them enough money to own the building. And what does owning a factory mean in the first place? The point of a factory, the point of a manufacturing plant is to produce things that are going to be useful to people. That's the work done by the people that do the producing, that have the brains that come up with the stuff, that like every step of it is worth something. And I'm talking about also the artists that do the art and the advertising. All of that is actually worth value. The only thing that's not worth anything is people who are just making phone calls, deciding who owns what portion of the business. The sooner that we as a society acknowledge that a shareholder is just someone who figures out how to steal more money from the people that are actually doing the work, the better off we'll be. It'll be like a genuine awakening of consciousness. We look at a show like Succession, and again, I will make a whole video about that. We look at the show and we say like, yeah, these people, wow, like they're shitty people and whatever. They're glamorous and they have so much power. They're the worst kind of human beings on the planet right now. They're the ones that are the cause of all our problems. You know that, right? And we glamorize that shit as if making a decision that gets a bunch of people fired for no reason, that ruins all these people's lives because you just need to cut corners and make your friends, the shareholders, some more money. That's a kind of evil that like we really should not be prepared to accept, but we do. It's totally normal. And that's what's so dangerous about living in a society that proudly calls itself capitalist when most of us ain't capitalists. We ain't got no capital. And also, we really have to get through our heads that capitalism and commerce are not the same thing. No one wants people to stop making things and buying them and being able to trade them and being able to do whatever the fuck with whatever the fuck you make. What we need to get rid of is exploitation and people who are sitting behind desks deciding that what you did, they're going to get some of.